My name is Caroline Russell, and the topic of my persuasive speech is should parents be held liable for their children's crime? A question that I kind of want you to think about through the entire presentation is should the child be completely responsible for the crime when the issue could resonate in the home? Now, that can pose a lot of ideas. What exactly does that mean? Where are you going with this? Why would something a child do be a reflection on the home? One of those is neglect. Neglect is a fuel for criminal behaviors in youth. Now, but is it? It kind of is. Neglect is shown as a huge thing. It's everywhere. It's unfortunately kind of common. But there has been true evidence of how the fact that neglect can fuel crime behavior is actually true. One of these unfortunate situations is a shooting that happened up in Michigan recently this year. The shooter was only 15 years old and opened fire on his school. When the police, did an investigation in the home, it was shown that neglect had a lot to do with it. The school had often recommended for his parents to take him to a psychologist, that they were seeing concerning behaviors and even concerning drawings that the kid was making. However, the parents didn't quite see that as an issue. They just saw it as he was looking for attention. And that's just pure neglect. You have been recommended several times to go somewhere and you're just not taking him. He's just left to kind of figure it out. A bad mindset creates bad ideas. Looking for a solution can be a little harder if you're not in the right mental state, when your mindset is just not the way it should be. That's a fuel for a bad outcome. And unfortunately, this was a prime example of a bad outcome. Neglect does not just affect the child who is being neglected, but it affects the one around him. Unfortunately, because of the parents' neglect of his mental health, 4 students in the school lost their lives. And that is not fair at all. Neglect has a lot to do with it, and we need to raise awareness of child neglect. But a lot of people would ask, even though, should we still be holding parents liable? Well, neglect in the home and seeing how that is an issue can send out a strong message. Any form of poor parenting has repercussions. We know this, we've seen this many times, but even the simplest forms can still have an effect. When a parent looks at a news article talking about, what happened in Michigan, it's impossible to not put your own kid in that situation and think, what on earth happened? What made him do this? It's kind of putting yourself and putting your kid in that mindset, and that's just something a mother would do. You couldn't imagine it, but at the same time you could. This can raise an awareness for better parenting. A parent would want to avoid that. Research shows that a child with engaged parents are less likely to commit crimes. If you're with your kid and you're teaching them right and wrong and you're exposing them to things in the world that aren't quite okay, that's a good example of teaching right and wrong. Liability increasing laws have already been proven effective in lowering youth crime rates in several states around the U.S. So we should be holding parents liable, because that's not only showing faults, but it's also encouraging better parenting through other parents across the world who are thinking, what if that was my kid? And that has a strong impact on other parenting. Now, it can be commonly argued that we shouldn't hold parents liable. It's unfair, and they shouldn't be punished for crimes they had no physical part in. That sounds reasonable, right? You wouldn't just punish anybody for a crime. You would look for the people who had active part in it. But the thing is that even though a parent may not have been physically there, they still had a part in it psychologically. Even though kids can make their own decisions, their decisions and behavior stem from what they see and what they receive at home. Still don't get it? Another example would be that a father was arrested after his son killed 7 people during a parade. Why would the father get arrested? He didn't do anything. Well, giving a kid who does not have a good mental health state a gun for Christmas was not quite a good idea. And it obviously had consequences. We need to be holding parents accountable for what they're allowing and showing in the home. If not, this problem just keeps happening and nothing really gets done about it except for a bunch of people go to jail. And I would think we kind of want to avoid that. So, in conclusion, parents are the foundation of their children's decisions and behaviors. I mean, if you hold a parent accountable, this could encourage better parenting. If you teach a parent that what they've been doing is wrong and guiding them and helping their kid, it could have a massive effect on the kid and just a better environment in the home in general. I urge everybody who listens to my presentation to realize just how important and life-changing this could be. This could promote better environments. This could make schools and communities feel safer knowing that their youth is protected, not just physically, but mentally too. I mean, we're the new generation. We have the power to change things for the better. Why not start with the betterment of the home and just how everything is going? Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.